Hey guys, it's Christina Cimorelli. Welcome to my second channel. You probably know me from my main channel, Cimorelli, where I'm in a band with my sisters. On this channel, I make videos about pregnancy, eventually motherhood, motivational, inspirational stuff, marriage, and life advice. Now this video is about how my body has changed so far this pregnancy, specifically like the first 5 months of this pregnancy, because I'm a little past 5 months right now. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about some tips on accepting your body and accepting change, which I've had a lot of lately. So in this video, I'm going to go over like things that change, like the size, weight, skin, body changing symptoms, mental things that have happened. And then at the end, I'll do those tips. All right, guys, I wrote this all in order from like what really happened first in the first trimester and then stuff in the second trimester. I don't know if I'll do another video at the end of my pregnancy and go over like more changes, but probably will if you guys like this video. So let's start out with some first trimester changes. I'm acting like I'm so excited, like, yeah, let's get into it. But most of these changes were not that pleasant, shall we say. So the first thing that changed was I got so bloated so fast. And this has been a weird thing I've been wrestling with on and off in pregnancy, the bloat and like my stomach size, because I notice I'm in like some pregnancy groups online where I can see women like posting different things, and there was like several different threads about like, am I showing too much too early? Is my stomach too big for this many weeks or this many months or whatever? And I felt that, and it's like, why on earth was I wondering, am I showing too much too early? Is my stomach too big? Why am I wondering that? I'm pregnant and I'm growing a human inside of me. Why am I wondering this? It just like really goes to show like how messed up society is that we put these things in women's minds. Like, where did I even get that? No one told me that, but I picked it up. That's the messaging I've been getting, was I need to compare myself and see like how I'm measuring up. So that kind of scared me, because I was in the very, very beginning. I mean like very beginning, like bloating was one of my early symptoms. So like what was it? Wait, suddenly like all concept of everything has gone out of my mind of like time. Like, how many weeks did I figure out I was pregnant at? No, I don't remember. Okay, don't remember. But it was very, very early. I think it was 3.5. I don't know. Guys, I can't remember. It was very early. Does that make sense if it was 3.5? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. Yes. Yes, that does make sense. I was so bloated. So my stomach was just like pushed out a lot, and it looked like I had like a little baby bump, when obviously the baby was like so minuscule you can't even see, like the size of some kind of little seed, right? That's not the baby, that's me being bloated in there, that you can see. So I was getting so bloated, and I was already like, is this weird? I was already questioning if it was weird. Really messed up. I wrote, can barely eat at end, so bloating is way down. Oh, at the end of my first trimester, I could barely eat because I was so nauseous. So my bloating went way down. But in the beginning, it was pretty bad. I had so many different cramping and stretching and like stabbing pains that were really intense at times. And it was just like, okay, I'm just walking around in this body that is like that's what my body felt like. It was really weird. Never experienced that before. It was kind of like period cramps type of thing, but like all the time, like feeling all these different pains every day. Like, are they gonna go away? My skin was pretty clear in the beginning, and it did have like the glow, like the oily hormonal glow. It had that in the beginning, which a lot of people were pointing out. But then it randomly, I don't remember how many weeks this was, got so dry, like so dry. I've never had dry skin in my entire life, and I used to be like, oh, dry skin would be so much easier than oily skin. I take it back, guys, I take it back. Even like shaving was weird, because it was so dry that it was like scaly and like bumps, and like I was like, this is so difficult. I have no idea how to deal with it. It just felt like I would put moisturizer on and like nothing would happen. So I had this weird like scaly dry skin that I've never experienced before. I was so used to having like really oily skin. So randomly the driest skin, which went away, by the way, really went away. But anyway, we'll get there. I sized up to a medium in pants in the first trimester, like pretty early on. My stomach was bloating so much and it was just, I couldn't fit in my pants anymore. Like my pants already are like fitted, and it's like, if I'm bloating a lot, I don't have much of a chance with them, okay? They're not all that stretchy. So I sized up to medium like pretty early, and I'm still wearing medium right now. I don't know how it's working. I guess the part right below my like belly where my pants are sitting hasn't changed much. So that part just expanded with whatever, the bloat, whatever in the beginning, because it wasn't with the baby. The baby was tiny. And so I sized up, and I'm still wearing those, and then some maternity clothes, but we'll get there. And then I ended up losing 5 to 7 pounds in the beginning, but then I got back to that starting weight really quickly into the second trimester because I was throwing up and I couldn't eat like anything. It was so difficult. I was so nauseous all the time. It was really stressful because I was really scared of losing weight. I was really scared that something bad was gonna happen to the baby. I mean, I had miscarried before this pregnancy. If you see my other videos, I link a lot of them in the description. So I was really scared of like, oh my gosh, what if I do something wrong? Like, what if I lose too much weight and then it like hurts the baby? So I was like really paranoid. So every time I was losing weight, I was getting kind of scared. Every time I go to the doctor and it'd be less weight, I was like, but it ended up being fine. So I ended up losing some weight, and then the bloat went away, and my stomach wasn't really like showing much because there was zero bloat. That was a short-lived time in my entire life, not just pregnancy, my entire life. And then mentally, I didn't realize how much I was struggling, or maybe why I was struggling, until I saw this video of Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars. There was a video, I think it was like an interview, I can't remember. I think it was an interview with Ashley Graham, maybe? I don't know, it all blends together. I think it's what it was. And she talked about how like isolating pregnancy was, and how like she was, I think she said, I don't want to make this up, but I think she said something about like experiencing depression or anxiety or some kind of mental health struggles during it. Like she was talking about the first like few months, I think, and how difficult it was to like adjust to her body changing and like her world changing, her mind changing. When I saw that interview, it just like clicked in me, and I was like, oh, me too. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize like I've been really, really struggling. And there was a lot of things I was struggling with. It was like the commitment of like, oh my gosh, my life is about to change. And then the fact that my body felt so out of control, I had to like come to terms with the fact that I cannot control a lot of things right now. And my body will be getting bigger. My body will be changing. My body will be experiencing lots of different things I've never experienced before that could be really scary, that I'm not gonna know automatically if they're normal or not. So it's just so many different things. And then a lot of pain. So it was really difficult feeling pain and then realizing like there's not much I can do for this. This is like a normal pain, and I can't take painkillers to make it go away like I can take Tylenol, which doesn't really do anything for me. So for the my whole life, when I have a problem, I find a solution and I do everything I can to solve that problem. This is different because I could do everything I possibly can to get the problem like as to be like minimalized as much as possible, but because these are symptoms of pregnancy and like my body and my baby doing like what they're supposed to be doing, I'm not just gonna get them to all go away. So I'm gonna be feeling these pains that I can't control and I can't alleviate. So that was really difficult, being like, I'm gonna be in pain and I can't change it really. There's only so much I can change. I have to accept that I'm gonna be living in pain off and on for the next several months. That was difficult. And then I think there was the messages that we get from the media about women's bodies really is getting bigger is worse. staying smaller is better. Be as small as you can. I think that's a common message we get. So as I started to get bigger, my stomach, I did a lot of times, I remember in the beginning, I had to be like, no, this is good. This is okay. It's okay that you're getting bigger. It's okay. I had to tell myself that because I started to panic a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting bigger. And I was like, wait a minute. Why am I not allowed to get bigger? Who on earth says I'm not allowed to get bigger? First of all, I'm pregnant. Second of all, who's allowed to tell me how big I'm allowed to get or if I'm allowed to get bigger at all? So I had to question a lot of stuff, and I didn't realize how much I like absorbed from the media, all the different messaging, and how damaging it was to me. I'm sure I'll have even more to say when my stomach gets even bigger by the end. I mean, it's getting bigger, but it's not there yet. Obviously, I'm only 5 months in. So in the second trimester, as I started eating again, which literally the second week of the second trimester, it was like magic. I was able to eat again, and I just could not believe it. Anyone who goes through pregnancy and has like nausea, throwing up, all morning sickness, all that stuff, the whole pregnancy, I bow down to you. You are the definition of a warrior. You are a pillar of strength. I don't know how you do it because I was losing it with just 14 weeks of that. Well, actually, technically it wasn't even 14. It was 14 minus 6. Whatever that number is, I don't want to do it right now. 8? 8. It was 8 weeks, and I was like, I'm gonna die. I can't do this. You are amazing if you have gone through that. Like, seriously, you don't get enough credit. I'm here to give you credit. You deserve all the credit in the world. You deserve anything you want in the world. Seriously, I don't know how you did it. My hat is off to you. You're amazing. Anyway, so I started bloating again a lot as I started eating normally again, getting my appetite back, getting to eat more than just cereal. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And oh gosh, the bloat, guys. Okay, I don't think people get it. When I say I was bloating, I don't just mean I was bloating. I mean I was bloating. And let me give you I have some proof, okay? My mom, she's given birth to 11 children, okay? She knows a thing or two about pregnancy, and she knows a thing or two about getting bloated in pregnancy. I had her touch my stomach like last week when I was really bloated. And I was like, Mom, I'm really bloated, like feel this. And then she just felt it, and she was like, oh my gosh, your skin is completely stretched. She was like shocked at how stretched my skin was, because that is how bloated I was, to the point where it was like my skin was like doing everything it could to not like tear in half. I'm not exaggerating, guys. Like the bloat, when I would eat too fast, eat certain things, I learned a lot, okay? I learned a lot. Experience stress, oh my gosh, so much. It really contributed to the bloating. My stomach just inflates like crazy. If you bloat a lot, I am here for you. I get you, okay? So that came back, which is horrible. I went from dry skin to oil, breakout, central. So I started to break out on my chest and my back. Once again, if you go through that, I am here for you. I am with you. I get it. So I had to start like religiously exfoliating every single day, making sure I don't go like a day without a shower. I used to maybe go, oh my God, guys, when I was tired and nauseous, I went the longest I've ever gone without showering, and I am not proud of that. I am someone who loves to be clean, okay? I am not proud of that fact. But anyway, I had to make sure I was showering every day, which duh, why would you not want to do that? But I'm just telling you, it gets harder when you're really, really, really tired. So I had to make sure I was showering every day, and I was washing this religiously, and that I was never putting on a shirt that I had worn once before, so it had like some dirt and oil on it, whatever the heck, bacteria. Guys, I'm not a scientist. I don't know what happens, but I know that I had to have a fresh, clean shirt every single time. It's not like, oh, I wore this once, I'm gonna hang it back up and wear it again. No, I couldn't do that. When I changed those things, it did really help, and the breakouts went way down. I just had to keep things really, really clean and exfoliated, and it like totally basically went away. But I mean, right now they're pretty much gone, but if I stop doing that stuff, they will come back. So that is what I do to keep the breakouts at bay. Just keep everything so clean. And then My feet, I wrote, my feet are so dry. They have never in my life looked like this. Yes, that is true. Very, very dry feet. So it was like oily and then dry, like random, like mixture. At this point, I would say everything's just kind of back to like normal oily, like what I'm used to, except for the extra breakouts. Not used to that so much. And then my stomach started to get really, really tender. Down here, I give myself a shot. If you watch my other pregnancy videos, you'll see I talked about how I have a blood clotting disorder. It's called factor H, under the umbrella, I guess, of like thrombophilia, which is my blood like clots too much. So I have to be on blood thinners. So I'm on Lovenox, this shot that I do every night. And my stomach started to get so tender. And guys, I have a wild purple and blue and like black bruise on this side right now. I get bruises a lot from the shots. I switch back every night, switch back and forth the sides, but it started to hurt pretty bad. The shot didn't really hurt too much before. Now my stomach is just so tender. It's a challenge every night when I do the shot. I'm just like, oh gosh, I know it's gonna hurt. It's pretty painful. So yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but they started to get a lot more painful in my second trimester, in the middle maybe. My veins, this is so weird. Well, it's not weird. This is a normal thing in pregnancy, but it's weird to experience. My veins are so visible. I remember the first time I looked in the mirror and I saw this like huge kind of vein that's like right here across my chest, and I had never seen it before. I looked in the mirror and I was like, there is a long and like dark vein right here, and I cannot believe how visible it is. It was like kind of scary, but that's just what happens. So that was weird. Every day looking in the mirror and being like, wow, hello vein, you are very visible. How are you? Stomach pains and odd feelings of being full and stomach pain from stretching constantly. Yeah, it's like my stomach is being squished up here, squishing up as the baby takes over my body, and it's just a bunch of weird feelings I can't even explain. Like my stomach has never felt like this. I'm already like, I see pictures of myself with like my old body, and I'm like, oh, I miss that. Like just eating a meal and being able to eat like a normal amount and like not be in pain, and then being able to just put on clothes without even thinking about, ooh, does this fit me? Is this gonna go over my stomach? I'm already missing it, and I'm 5 months in, so pray for me. But guys, don't worry, I'll be fine. Acid reflux, oh my gosh. Oh, I hear someone doing their landscaping, but I don't know if you can hear that. Acid reflux, oh my gosh, it's been really bad, but I've learned that I just need to eat slower and smaller amounts. So I've been breaking my meals into smaller meals that are more frequent instead of larger meals, because that is just, it is not gonna happen anymore. I have to give up, kiss it goodbye, say goodbye to eating large meals. It's just not gonna work for me. It's never gonna work until I get my stomach back to myself. Tying my shoes already started to hurt like a month or 2 months ago because of the bruises on my stomach from my shot. Leaning over to tie my shoes, like, it's pretty bad. Why I smile when I say that? I don't know. Shirts that fit well or are flattering are hard to come by as I attempt to dress for my new body type. So I have this new body type that I have never had before, and it is very difficult for me to dress in, and I'm struggling some days because I'm like, all right, gotta pick out an outfit for today, gonna go over and like film this video, whatever. And then I get in my closet and I'm like, I can't wear that or that or that. None of my shorts fit anymore. None of my pants fit anymore. That shirt doesn't cover my bump. What am I gonna wear? And it's really stressful because, guys, dressing myself and picking out outfits that I actually like does not come naturally to me. So I already took like 20 something years, okay? I don't know, like 27 years, I don't even know, to get to a place where I felt confident choosing outfits for my non-pregnant body. And now, after I just got comfortable, I'm like, how do I dress this new body type? And it's really frustrating. Also, I want to mention that I'm expressing my feelings. I'm not really trying to complain about this stuff, but I have gotten a lot of messages from women saying that they really appreciate how I'm putting all this out there because they feel like women are kind of like shamed or just told to be like quiet when they complain or mention anything negative about pregnancy, because they're like, you should just be grateful. Of course you should be grateful. Of course I am really grateful. But a lot of women were saying how much they appreciate that because we're kind of just told to like suck it up and just deal with it. But I don't want to suck it up and deal with it. I just want to express like the truth of what's going on for me. And if that is a bunch of negative things, then I'm just going to say it, you know? I'm not trying to say like I'm not grateful or I'm just complaining. I'm just trying to give you an accurate representation of the things happening. And if I skipped all the negative things or the difficult things, wouldn't really have much of a video, you know? It's just a challenge. It really is a challenge, and women deserve to be, you know, lifted up and saluted for this challenge that they are undertaking. So now I'm gonna move on. Well, speaking of that, I guess, to some tips. Oh, I just moved the camera. To some tips for accepting your body. And this is great because we literally just did a podcast on this today. And so I'm just really excited to share this. Okay, so this is about like accepting your body and like kind of like forming a new, better body image and accepting change, something I've had a lot of lately. So body image is something that we don't really consciously form because we form it when we're really young, and it's based on like the media that we consume and the people around us. So the first thing I want to say is that it's time to take back the power for ourselves and to empower ourselves to consciously create a healthy body image, a healthy image of our bodies, instead of just accepting what was handed to us by the people in our lives who may have meant well or maybe, I mean, I don't think anyone does mean well, but may have meant well and may have damaged us in some ways, or by the media, who I don't think 99% of the time means well, because media and different companies, brands, they prey on, profit off of our insecurities, kind of like in an abusive relationship, because they keep us down, feeling like we need them, like we need their products, we need their advice, we need their insight. So we have to stay like down to depend on them, or else they're like out of a job, is a way a lot of them seem to see it. So they're showing us this like perfect, ideal, whatever, look, body type, whatever, which changes, by the way. The trends change all the time. The body type trends, they change all the time. So they show us like this perfect thing we're supposed to be, and then they tell us all the things we have to buy and do to ourselves to look like that. And then they keep switching it up so that we always have to get like new things, right? It is just so messed up because that is not true. And some companies are wising up to this and realizing like, we don't have to do that to sell products. We can still like show our product in plenty of different looking women and women will still buy it. Wow. We don't have to only show this one perfect ideal look. So that is just something that gets me so heated, because it just makes me realize like how much I've been like controlled by the media. And it just makes me so mad because they get us so down on ourselves when we didn't ask for this and we don't deserve this either. But then we're sitting here thinking, I'm not good enough. I need to buy that. I need to change this. I should look like that. I'm not allowed to be this size. I'm not allowed to look like this. When why on earth are they allowed to tell us what we're allowed to do? Our job is not to be perfect. That's nobody's job. Nobody's job is to be perfect. We're just supposed to be the best people that we can be, the best versions of ourselves, our unique personalities, who we are, which there's never going to be another you in history. There's only one of you. There's only one of me. So we're not supposed to conform and just be this perfect trendy thing that's right now, which, you know, years ago it was basically shave off your eyebrows and have a line of eyebrow, and then suddenly they're telling us, oh, now you have to have thick, full eyebrows after everyone just freaking destroyed their eyebrows. What a sick joke, right? So it's just not right that we have to just like keep changing to go along with all these trends and constantly feel like we're not good enough. I think a big reason, we talked about this on the podcast today, it's the Cimorelli podcast. We talked about how we give a lot of meaning to the idea of being perfect, and I'll say looking perfect in this example. The idea of looking perfect carries deeper meaning for us. So in our head, and this is not our fault, okay? This is really media. It is in, God, guys, I have to burp. I burp so much in pregnancy. But anyway, in shows and movies and in magazines, social media, Instagram, whatever, blah, 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 all this stuff, we are sold this idea a lot that if we look perfect, we're gonna get everything we want in life, basically. So if we look perfect, we will be successful. If we look perfect, we will find love. If we look perfect, people will like us. If we look perfect, we will like ourselves. The reality is, if we look perfect, none of those things come along with it. None of them. Because think about, I said this in the podcast too, think about like a friend of yours. You don't love your friend more or like your friend more when they look better. You don't wish, one of my sisters said this today, you don't wish that your mom just looked more perfect because then you would enjoy being around her more, or you would love her more, or you'd have a deeper connection. What we really want is we want true joy, not like fleeting happiness, which I mentioned is like when someone compliments you, it's like you feel happy for a second, but you don't feel content forever. It's like you feel good, and after a bit, you're like, you need more compliments. Like the next day, the next week, whatever, you hope to get more compliments. You don't just feel content forever because you got that one compliment. So you feel this feeling of happiness, but it's like fleeting. It's not like true lasting joy and peace. We want to be at peace with ourselves and our bodies. We want to experience true joy. We want connection and love, stability, trust, loyalty. These are all things that having a perfect body will not give you, will not change. It will have no effect on any of that. But we are basically fed this idea that perfect body equals all of those things. So when this makes it so much more painful when we don't have the perfect body, because then we go, oh my gosh, I have to get to that ideal, because if I don't get there, I'm not gonna have this. I'm never gonna be happy. I'm never gonna be content with my life. I'm never gonna be successful. I'm gonna regret everything about my life forever. I mean, it just spirals downwards. So I think that's one of the reasons why it hurts so much when we compare ourselves to this perfection that is unattainable, because we think it's going to give us so much more. The reality is that you can work on those things, those different areas of your life, and you can work on yourself in those areas. You can learn to love yourself, work in your relationship with yourself, all those different things. You can do that without having the perfect body and thinking that you are perfect or you look perfect. You can work on those right now, today. You don't have to change anything about your body to get any of those things or to love yourself. Maybe you need to start taking care of yourself more, but it's not the idea of your waistline shrinking or your hips getting larger. Those things do not change those other things that you truly want. So I'm gonna tell you about like a little bit of my like body image issues I had as a teenager. I was really thin. I was a 00, and I would eat a lot of food, and I just couldn't gain weight. I was really athletic, and I mean, not really tall, 5'6", medium tall. And I was getting this message from the media, real women have curves. It was like a really strong messaging at the time of my like high school age self. And I felt really insecure, like, oh my gosh, am I not a real woman? I'm not curvy. Do I have like the body of a boy? Like, it was so messed up. That's what I was thinking, like I have the wrong body because I don't have what they're telling me a woman's body is. I'm not curvy, I'm just curveless, so I'm just not a woman. And until I get this other body, I'm not a woman. So then what am I right now? And I just felt so demoralized and so down on myself. And I really felt like men weren't gonna like me, they weren't gonna be attracted to me because I didn't have what men want. And the only reason I felt like this was because of all the messages I got from the media telling me that I wasn't good enough and that I wasn't their standard of perfection and their ideal at the time. So I had this moment, I thought about this a lot as a teenager because it was really bugging me. And I had this whole moment of realization, and I'm gonna illustrate it with this book that I read. There was this fitness book, it was just about different workouts for different body types. And it was talking about, the trainer was saying that she had worked with 2 different women, and one of them said she really, really wanted this super curvy body, and she was a very naturally thin body type, and she's like, what can I do to change my body type to be like that? The other woman was very curvy, and she wanted this really thin, not curvy body type, and she's like, what can I do to change my body to be like that? And the trainer said she realized that they were literally these 2 women who had ideal fit body types, who most people would be like, wow, they totally are killing it, whatever. They both were so unhappy and so insecure in their body types because they wanted what the opposite person had. And if each one of them could have just wanted what they had, which is what the other person had managed to do, want what the other person had, they could have been happy with what they wanted because that's what they thought, right? This just makes you realize that it's not necessarily about the body, it's about the mind. Because that person had what she wanted and she wasn't happy because she wanted what she wanted. So I thought about this too, and I realized I'm gonna have this body, this personality, this self with me my whole life. I'm never gonna be someone else. It's never gonna happen, no matter how hard I try. I'm always gonna be me. So if I'm gonna choose to hate all these different things about myself and tear them down and wish I was a different body type, and focus on that every day, I'm gonna be really unhappy for a lot of years, assuming I live to be old. I'm gonna be really unhappy. And then I'm gonna be on my deathbed, and is it gonna be worth it? I'm really glad that I picked myself apart and I focused on things I wanted to change that I literally couldn't change. Am I gonna be happy with that on my deathbed? No, I'm gonna regret that. So then I realized, why on earth can't I like what I am now? Why can't I choose to like what I am, how I look, who I am right now? Why can't I choose that? And then I was like, you know what? I can. No one can tell me what I can't choose about how I think about myself. And then I just got mad at everything. And I was like, the media and all these different things, they're not gonna tell me who I'm supposed to be and how I have to look. That's just not gonna happen anymore. And that started as a teenager, and that is how I started to develop more into the adult version of me. So I've really, I've been working on being very accepting about my changing body and being very gentle with myself, and even being accepting and gentle of my feelings that are not so positive, you know, being like, oh, I'm feeling kind of critical of myself. That's okay. Anyone in your position will probably feel the same way. It's okay that you feel that. Let's work on thinking some positive thoughts. Let's focus on what are some nice things what are some nice things we could think about ourselves. That's how I think about myself. So I accept my feelings, and I say like, it's okay that you're feeling that. And then I go on to like, what would be a healthier thing to focus on? I don't say, no, I don't feel that, I'm fine, and like ignore and pretend I don't feel anything, because I do feel things. So I need to accept it and then encourage myself. Not deny reality and pretend it doesn't exist, but also not focus over and over and over again on things that are gonna make me feel worse. I wanna focus on what is gonna put me in a better place while accepting reality. So that's how I've been dealing with change, being very gentle with myself, accepting, and encouraging. All right, that's definitely enough of the video. I feel like I could talk about this for a really long time. If you guys have any other video ideas, definitely comment them below. I always link a couple of the videos in the description, so you can feel free to watch those. And make sure you guys subscribe if you want to follow my entire pregnancy journey and Lauren, and learn more about me and my life, and follow me on my other social media accounts. The links are all in the description. And if you want to get a life coaching session with me, I'm a life coach in my spare time. I do a couple sessions a week normally with people. That is in my website, which is in my description. I almost said bio, but I didn't. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.